Hello everyone and welcome. I received a call just the other day from a man, call him Bob, who uses Facebook Marketplace to make some extra money. This individual is in his early 60s and lives with his dad, who's in his 90s. He's been doing this for about 3 years. No problem, right? Bob is on the registry. At some point, Facebook became aware of his status of being on the sex offender registry, and they shut down his account. I really feel bad for Bob because he's just trying to make a few extra bucks to help out. It can be very hard for those on the registry to find a job. Bob is adamant that the Supreme Court decision from North Carolina, Packingham, gives him the right to be on social media. I'm in total agreement with Bob that he should be allowed on social media, specifically Facebook. But here's where there's a problem. Packingham didn't tell Facebook that they have to let registrants on Facebook. It said that the state cannot make up rules to keep registrants off Facebook and social media in general. North Carolina law makes it a felony for a registered sex offender to access a commercial social networking website where the sex offender knows that the site permits minor children to become members or to create or maintain personal web pages. In 2002, Mr. Packingham was convicted of a crime that put him on the sex offender registry. Fast forward to 2010, a state court dismissed a traffic ticket against Mr. Packingham. In response, he logged onto Facebook and posted the following statement on his personal profile. "Man, God is good. How about I got so much favor? They dismissed the ticket before court even started. No fine, no court cost, no nothing spent. Praise be to God. Wow, thanks Jesus." Unfortunately for Mr. Packingham, an investigator for the Durham Police Department was snooping around Facebook and looking for people in violation of the law. He noticed that a post from an alias name was made that corresponded to the traffic ticket being dismissed. This allowed for a search warrant and later confirmed that the alias was in fact Packingham. Packingham was indicted by a grand jury. A motion to dismiss was denied, citing that it violated the First Amendment, and ultimately he was given a suspended prison sentence. At no point did the prosecution allege that he tried to contact a minor. Packingham appealed to the Court of Appeals of North Carolina. That court struck down the ruling as the state law is not narrowly tailored to an individual's crime, but rather applies to all of whom are on the registry. The North Carolina Supreme Court reversed the appeals court decision, and then ultimately gets to the Supreme Court of the United States of America, which then reversed the North Carolina Supreme Court decision. It's like a legal game of Othello. Why is this important? Because Facebook is a publicly traded company, meaning they have reporting requirements to the Securities and Exchange Commission, they have stockholders, etc. But Facebook isn't a government-controlled entity. In North Carolina, the law stipulated that you cannot be on social media where children are also. All social media, even YouTube or your local news station or your favorite cooking show. All of that is social media, and there could be children. This is the overreach. This is what the Supreme Court of the United States said is unconstitutional. This is a blanket restriction without narrowly tailoring the conditions to the individual. Packingham's First Amendment rights were being suppressed by the government. He was exercising his freedom of speech, which also reflected a religious message. I do wonder if it hadn't been religious in nature, if this would have gained much traction. Maybe, maybe not. But let's go back to Bob and my phone call. Bob couldn't see that being blocked from Facebook was the doing of Facebook. He thought that Packingham was the decision giving him the right to be on Facebook and social media at large. Our conversation continued and we kicked it back and forth as I was trying to help him understand. To finally get Bob to understand the comparison, I asked him to visit his local church this Sunday at around 12 p.m. March up to the stage or podium and demand that he be given the opportunity to deliver his message. You could nearly hear the light click on. Oh, now I see. That is their platform. You have no right to their platform. The government can't come in and control the message of the church, but you, the individual, cannot go into the church and force them to let you speak your message. Recently, Facebook reported that they have about 1.5 billion active users monthly. They have nearly 3 billion accounts. If you look globally, there are about 3 billion people on the internet out of a total population of about 7.4 billion people worldwide. Nearly every person with internet access likely has a Facebook account. Given all that, there is a problem coming for social media sites like Facebook and Twitter, etc. Our current US president uses Twitter constantly. If you were in North Carolina during the time of this ban on social media, and you were adamant that you be allowed to hear the president's message from the president's mouth, or tweets as it were, I believe it would be a huge violation of your First Amendment right to be able to hear the message directly, unfiltered by the media. But how far down the ranks does this apply? To the vice president or the governor, your local state representative? And it makes it incredibly accessible to turn on your cell phone's camera and televise a city council meeting. People don't have to travel to a hot or cold gymnasium with uncomfortable chairs. People with various levels of disability would be much more able to participate. We have a presidential election coming up soon here in the US. Suppose some of them want to have a virtual town hall on Facebook. Those on the registry wouldn't be able to participate. This doesn't only apply to people that are on supervision. These individuals do have varying levels of diminished expectation of liberties. However, most of the social media sites have some flavor of the language that if you've been convicted of a sex crime, then you aren't welcome here. It doesn't matter if it's against a minor or not. It is a blanket restriction. You could have committed some crime involving only adults. The vast, overwhelming majority of people that are on the registry are trying to move forward and have a prosperous life. They are trying to be with their family and spend time with their friends. They are trying to earn a decent living. But ultimately, the decision is Facebook's and all of the other sites as well. It is their choice to run their platform how they choose. I think their position is wrong. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have questions or comments, of course, please feel free to leave them below. Oh, and of course, FYP.